Hey everyone, welcome to Tales from the Pros, and this is Michael Giorgio, your host and co-founder of Imaginovation. I have two very, very special guests with me here today. This brother and sister salsa duo, originally from San Francisco, California, and now living in Los Angeles, have performed, taught, and competed all over the world. They are one of the hottest pro couples on the international circuit, bringing them to be one of the best in the world. They are an 8-time national and international salsa dance champions and are the youngest solo internationally traveling couple with electrifying routines that blow the roof off congresses, festivals, and corporate shows around the world. And most credibly, they are very well known for making it to the quarterfinals of Season 3 on America's Got Talent. This is Tales from the Pros, where business leaders and influencers share their stories of inspiration, struggles, and successes. And I'm your host, Michael Giorgio. Please welcome Junior and Emily Alabi. Guys,
hey everyone! Hey Michael!
What's up? Hey, and I said your last name right. Is that correct?
Yeah, Alabi.
Alabi. It's okay. That's good.
It's okay.
It's the same. I mean,
everybody said it every way. It's fine. We embrace it.
There you go. Hey, my last name's Giorgio. I've heard Giorgiano. I'm like, where's the N? Why is there Giorgiano?
Where's the N and the A? That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Thank you so much for having us, Michael.
Yeah,
it's an honor for
pleasure.
us.
No, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And I've met you guys in person. We met at Balacura, the large nonprofit, salsa and dance festival for the last 2 years. And you guys have performed amazingly and beautifully. And I got to meet you in person. You guys are just so humble, and you're a beautiful duo. And I'm just very honored and humbled to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Michael.
No, really, thank you.
It's been awesome to get to know you.
Yeah,
absolutely, and there's more to come. Hopefully I'll see you next year too.
Yeah,
good.
That'd be awesome.
So thanks again, guys, and just kind of getting things kicked off here on this episode. Just learning about you and doing a little bit of research. I know that you have an amazing, inspiring story to tell, and I just want you to kind of talk to everyone on how essentially did your salsa journey begin. Tell me a little bit about that.
So our salsa journey began a while ago. I was about 10 years old. My sister was about 14.
No, the reverse. I was 10.
Oh, sorry. My sister was 10 and I was 14. I am the older one. And so we grew up with a single father, divorced when we were really young. And, I was kind of left alone, I would say. My sister was super young. And so I would kind of be on the streets a lot, getting into lots and lots of trouble. And so my dad was actually dancing salsa at the time. And he wanted to figure out a way to give me something more productive where I can actually do something with my sister and just be more productive instead of always being on the street, always causing trouble, always kind of being a headache. And so we started going to classes, and, of course we hated it, both of us. My sister was into sports.
Yeah, I was the biggest tomboy ever.
Yeah, right?
And Junior, again, he was getting into a lot of trouble, and I basically started to follow his footsteps just because we didn't grow up in the biggest neighborhood, and that's all we knew was to be on the streets. And so, we didn't have dreams, we didn't have goals, we didn't want to really become anything or do anything. And dance really opened the door for us. Yeah. And I say dance really gave us life.
Yeah. And it really saved my life. I mean, I was like, on the streets, gangs, the whole, thing, and really going into a really bad direction, and so when going into dance, it was something that really gave us like purpose. And we started to, it kind of opened our eyes to the rest of the world and having dreams. Us going, I remember we went to our first dance convention, and we got to see these salsa artists that they got paid to dance. They got to travel the world, and it was like, they got to, when they performed and they lit the audience up, when they taught, they lit the classroom up, and it was just incredible. And we're like, you know what? We want to do that. So, of course, it was a struggle. We were still young. We were still kind of tiptoeing in class, kind of not wanting to go to class. And then a couple of years going to class, we started to really, really enjoy it. Then when we went to that convention, it really was like, okay, we're gonna do this. So what is it gonna take for us to do this? We set up a 5-year plan, and we committed every single day, working our butts off, training, saying these are the competitions we need to win. This is the timeline we need to do it. We need to have these routines ready by this time, this time, this time. And so we just really created a plan of action. And of course, it wasn't overnight. It was we won our first competition, and in 2003. So we started in 2000. So it was about 3 years, kind of figuring out if we can actually do this as a living. And when we won our first competition in 2003, we were like, wow. Maybe we can do this. And from there, everything kind of just snowballed. It wasn't like, like my sister said, growing up, we had no dreams. We didn't know what we were going to do. I mean, we were just kind of going with the flow, being surrounded with our environment and just kind of going with the flow. So, like, literally, for our dad to push us into dance, and it really, really gave us a light in our life. And from there, it just, lit a fire, and it just grew and grew and grew. And now we're able to do our dreams, being able to travel to different parts of the world, being able to perform and impact people in a positive way with our self-expression, our dance, our story. So it's just been an incredible, incredible journey. And
Yeah,
we're
super
yeah, we're
thankful for it.
super thankful,
Super
super
thankful.
grateful.
Yeah.
And to everybody along the way that have helped us and supported us and believed in us, and especially our father.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be where we're at. So a
Yeah.
big thank you to him, and for believing in us. And yeah,
Yeah, we love our dad.
we love you,
I love it.
Dad.
Yeah, family is very important, and you guys have a great story, and it's I love that you were able to find your purpose and get out of those tough situations of temptation, right? Because we're all when we're young, sometimes we're the world, guys. I mean, you know this, right? It's a crazy place. It's tough. It's not life is not meant to be easy. The world isn't easy, right? And
Yeah.
for you guys to overcome those challenges and those temptations when you're little, I mean that's huge, and to
Yeah.
get to where you are right now is amazing. And and it seems like it kind of came natural to you. Did you just feel, I mean, that this is what you want to do? Did you feel, this is how we want to live our lives, is dancing and inspiring people through dance?
Well, not immediately. Like we were
Initially.
soup initially. We were very resistant. We were like, we're not gonna dance because at the time, at the time when we started, there was like no kids. We literally it was all adults, and so
Yep.
we were like the only kids, and we were like, this is not cool, and our dad was the one that really forced us into classes. And again, we resisted him every
Yeah.
time we had to go to class. We fought him on it.
We're like, we'll take out the garbage, we'll wash the dishes, we'll clean the table. We don't want to go to class.
We don't want to go to dance
We were
class.
those, street kids, just loving, just, in that hip hop and that world. And salsa was like the adult thing to do, right? We're like, we go to,
Right.
like my sister said, we go to rehearsals or class, and it's nothing but adults. Like nowadays, they have full on events with just kids.
Yeah.
But back then, we were like the only kids dancing salsa. So.
Exactly. I think that once we did, have both feet in the door, that's when we really flew with it,
Yeah.
and we've been committed ever since.
Yep. Yep.
Amazing. And guys, I've danced salsa for a few years, like a little over 3 years now. I absolutely love it. I love salsa. I love bachata, and I know it takes, to get to a really top level. There's so much training and dedication. I think that's for any, anywhere you're trying to make to the top level. There's so much, it's just so much hard work that goes into it. So tell us a little bit about your training and dedication in dance, and what does it really take to make it to the top level and to be internationally known, and what does it take to get to that place?
Yeah, so like you said, just to piggyback off of what you said, it does take tremendous amount of hard work. I think that a lot of doors have opened up for Junior and I specifically because we are very different, and we weren't afraid to really push limits, to go into the studio, to train, to create, and to really find our true self-expression and our passion, and we just weren't afraid to be different, and I think that's what's really allowed us to kind of stand out, and alongside with the training, it's also very important, I feel like, it's just mindset, and really going back to, why are we doing this? What's the impact that we want to have? Like, it's not just about, I mean, just because there's a lot of incredible and amazing dancers out there. I mean, there's so many, but it's like,
Oh, yeah.
not only, figuring out ways of how to be different, how to be unique, but it's like, what is the reason we're doing this? How can we really impact in a way that's just not about the dancing, but also in a how to explain it, like in a purposeful way,
Yeah.
like.
Well, I think for us, it was just the way everything worked out, from like us, the struggles that we had to deal with, when we first started, and how it literally transformed our entire life. And so for us, it was like, wow, like look what dance did for us. And so for us, really, it was that mindset of, wow, how can we develop new ways to bring in the new generation of dance, to get it out on the mainstream level, to reach more people, not just the Latin world, but to actually try to get it on TV, try to get it into just basically more commercially, so we could reach more people, and share our story. And then and one of the things that I think it's very for us is like my sister was saying earlier, that keeping true to that expression, that self-expression, because one of the things that we have seen throughout the years, because we've been in this business since 18 years now. So we've kind of seen the whole scene develop up and down, the trends and all this stuff. So for us, it was, we really want to be able to, when we talk to our students, or we talk to people that are interested in doing this, is to just not worry so much about what everybody is saying that you should do, but do what you feel that you want to do for yourself. Like, I feel like, like when we first started dancing, our style was so different than everybody else. It wasn't the traditional. And there was a lot of people that told us, no, you got to do it this way. That's not the way you do it. You got to do it. You're doing it wrong, this and that. So there was this dilemma that we had to make a decision. Well, do we listen to these people, or do we just do what we feel feels good to us, and just follow the path that we want to follow, right? And for us, we stuck to that path, and because of that, that has made our entire career, because it's like, we have grown to absolutely love what we do, because we're just loving what we do.
Exactly.
And whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. And I think for us, we're authentic, and we just want to be able to be a stand for other dancers to be authentic. You don't need to look. As a dance artist, you're gonna have people that love you and people that don't quite love what you do. But that's the life of an artist, or that's when you show your expression to other people. It just, everybody has their perspective. So what we want people to do, or dancers looking to do this as a career, to really follow your heart and your expression and what feels good to you, and not be afraid to share it with other people.
Exactly. 100%.
100%. Because what ends up happening is you start listening to everybody else, and then you're just unhappy. You're not able to express yourself the way you want to. And the whole point of dance is it's an art form. It's a form of expression, and especially, like you said, it takes a lot of hard work. So if you're not happy doing it, guess what? you're going to end up giving up. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get stressed out. All of these things. But if you're expressing yourself the way you want to do, and you're able to release that, and it just becomes a love, and because it's what is natural for you,
and
right?
people will totally feel that.
Exactly.
Like you said, like
authentic,
like,
right?
exactly. People will feel that energy, that love, that passion.
Exactly.
And they'll feed
That
off of that.
joy is going to get you past, I think, and even Steve Jobs said that your passion and joy, because we're all, all of us as leaders in our areas, it takes a lot of perseverance, overcoming a lot of struggle, right?
Yeah.
It's every time you overcome struggle, you're closer to achieving your goals, is what I believe. So, I feel that, like what Steve Jobs is saying, is that a lot of us that are trying to make it to the top level and trying to do something great with our lives, we're all kind of a little bit crazy, right? Because it's not easy to get to that level. It's very difficult.
Yeah,
So you have
absolutely,
hard,
absolutely.
but you got to have passion and joy and
That's right.
purpose behind what you're doing, because that will take you past those tough times.
Yep.
Exactly. Couldn't have
Yeah.
said it better.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And I know, I mean, you guys, like, I mean, I completely understand being a dancer myself. I understand what you're saying about being authentic, because a lot of us, when we get trained, especially beginners, right, that you're taught the basics, and you're taught essentially how to just kind of do like a, just the basic salsa turns and turn patterns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right, like the steps. But the thing is that I feel there needs to be more coaching and teaching in terms of presenting your own style too.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
like when I dance, I love hip hop, but I love salsa, so I'll add a little hip hop
Love
flavor with
it.
my shot.
Yes, I love that.
That is awesome.
Yeah, no,
That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, we have specific workshops where they're called dance differently, and we'll teach a turn pattern, and we'll do the same turn pattern to salsa music, to hip hop music, to electronic music, just so people can really like discover new ways of like grooving and vibing, and just like not feeling so like I gotta do this right, and it has to look a certain way, and you know what I mean?
Like a robot.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like everything has been what we're like basically what we try to do when we create new choreographies, or when we try to do new things, is we really try, and when we do our workshops, we really try to present it in a way where everything was made up by somebody, right? So everything was made up. This was salsa. This is salsa on 1. This is salsa on 2. It's like, but so this is the base frame, right? But that doesn't mean that, like you said, you can incorporate hip hop, you can incorporate electro, you can incorporate ballet or jazz or whatever to fuse whatever feels good for you. If you like those things, create your own type of expression, your own type of dance, your own type of look, because that's how our dance community is going to grow.
Yes.
By innovating, by fusing, by figuring. I mean, who knows what another dance is going to be called in 10 years?
Yes.
You know, that everybody's going to be doing. But guess what? Somebody created that. So we're trying to open the eyes to what can you create for yourself that can really, be a full expression of yourself, but also can impact the entire dance community and grow the entire dance community.
Exactly.
I mean, you just never know. So we just want people to think outside the box. So for us, it's really, when we teach, it's really to just kind of open the eyes, open the box, so they can look outside the box and see what they can see for themselves.
The possibilities, yeah.
Exactly.
So true. I mean, yeah, I 100% agree. That's so true. It's in order to expand just the love of dance in general, and salsa. I think salsa is really a hidden gem, and a lot of people just don't know how fun it is, right?
Yeah.
It so much, right? And the thing is, you guys are expanding that, and the awareness, and I think what you're doing is just fantastic, and I think we need more of it. And this kind of goes into my next question. So, what do you really think salsa and even dance needs, or what it's lacking currently, on kind of on top of what you said, that it needs more evolution and more authenticity, and fusion? What else do you think it's lacking? What do you think dance and salsa in general really need now?
I think personally that it's lacking support. And what I mean by that is I feel like there's like in the generation that we grew up where we started dancing, I feel like there was a lot more support of self-expression of each other's different artistry and of everybody. And I feel like it's kind of went into this path where it's like there's a lot of judging, a lot of commenting, a lot of criticizing going on. Because people specifically want everybody to dance their own style. I mean, it all goes to business, you know what I mean? Business side of it. And I just feel like it's scaring people. It's bringing fear. People are so worried about doing things right or wrong, or that's not on one, or that's not on two, or you know what I mean. It's just like it's kind of lost its touch of like I said, the evolution, the expression, the freedom to just be, to just do. And I think that if there was more support from everybody in the community, we could grow more. We can expand more. I think that's what's missing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember going back to what my sister was saying is that, man, when you used to go to salsa festivals back in the day, I mean, you talk about 20 closing shows, all of them so different,
Yeah.
so creative. So it's like when you were watching, it was like it just blew you away.
And it was so inspiring. Because everybody had their own take. I mean, there were themes. They were like, it was like the more different you are, the better,
right?
And everybody was so even the competitive world. Like I remember being backstage, we're like, I love you, good luck, go kill it. Like, and we're all competing against each other, but it was like it was this sense of like family and support, and everybody wanted everybody to do good.
Exactly.
That's what it felt like. And now I just feel like it's just a little different now, the way things are working. And I feel like it's just brought in a lot of fear in our community. And I yeah.
Fear of perfect. Yeah, I mean, and what I was saying, Emily, is it's pretty much, it's like I feel it's a little bit of a fear of like perfection. People want to be so perfect. We have all these high expectations, right, nowadays.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've noticed it too. Just, I mean, I'm nowhere near professional at all, but me just going to congresses, and I try to dance with, people better than me. And I sometimes feel I have that fear. I'm just like, all right, I'm not good enough. Or I've had crazy, awkward experiences where sometimes I may not be at that partner's level, and they'll just, they won't be engaged. There won't be no eye contact. There'll be no joy in the dance. There'll be and I'm just like, man, like, it's just, it's dancing. You're here to have fun.
Exactly.
But see, that's the thing that I feel like is being forgotten, is like the fun of it. Like there's a lot of dancers that will want to dance with me, and they'll say on the social dance floor, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not very good, or I just started. And I'm like, listen, we're just having fun. All I want you to do is have fun. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, that's why we're doing what we're doing, right? Is to have fun and to connect with people. And so it's like, if everybody embraces that idea more, there wouldn't be so much of like of that fear or that desire to be so perfect, because it's like we're just having fun, and we're going to get better through time and through hard work. But right now, let's just enjoy the moment. Let's have fun.
And there's a lot of studies that are happening in regards to, if you don't have that pressure and that fear, you're going to perform so much better.
Oh yeah,
of course.
For sure.
Yep.
About what the partner thought of me, or I stopped worrying myself or what other people thought or what have you. My level, it just started to really get so much better, and I was able to perform better and able to just be happier, because I didn't have that pressure. I didn't have the expectation from others and even for myself. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to do what I know.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. You know what's so crazy is exactly like I feel the difference in our shows, at least for me, when I'm like, oh my God, this is such a big show and I got to be perfect and I got to hit everything. It's like way too much pressure. And then it's like, I don't enjoy the performance because I'm so concerned about, like, my focus goes from like having fun and impacting and just being in the moment to like, oh my God, I need to be so perfect. And this has, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's not very, it doesn't work in our favor. so yeah.
And I know you guys also started a salsa training company.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that? Because it seems like you're doing a lot of great things with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's called My Dance Mentor. And it's basically a mentorship program where we have different courses where we take literally 18 years of our knowledge of what we know that works and what we know that doesn't work. And we really, it's a way to mentor dancers so they can use some of the same, the tactics and strategies that we have used to accomplish our dance goals and dreams. Like
Their dance goals.
oh, their dance goals and dreams. So like literally taking them step by step. This is what you need to do in choreography. When you're competing, your mindset has a lot to do with it, and in everything you do, your work ethic, your preparation, basically everything. Training methods. So just basically giving them all our secrets. So we've been able to travel and accomplish our dance goals and dreams. So we want to be able to take other dancers that are interested and just give them everything that we got.
Yeah, we just want to help.
Yeah,
we want to help the community
That's right.
in any way that we can. And I feel like I said, it goes back to like it's more than just the training, right? There's a lot of amazing dance instruction videos available all over the web, right? But it's like it's more than that, right? Like I can teach you a turn pattern and that's great and everything, but it's like I want to teach you more about like the mindset, how to prepare, how to train,
or how do you take that turn pattern and put it in a choreography and take the same turn pattern and just elevate it with music. It's like stuff that is not really talked about,
yep.
Right? It's just like, this is, your basic, you do a turn pattern or some shines or stuff, but like, how do you choreograph like a routine that can get you to travel around the world, right? To get you noticed. How do you develop your craft? Like
exactly. We just want to help dancers. That's it. Mentor them in any way that we can by just sharing what's worked for us and hopefully, it'll work for them to help them.
And do you talk about how to start a business involving dance?
Actually, no, but we do talk about how to what it takes to actually be a pro artist, like in terms of branding yourself, things like that. Places where you can, we also have like this little section where we tell them how they can build their website, business cards, what are these promoters and stuff looking for when you go to these different events, just basically how are you able to become a successful salsa artist?
Exactly. And then also we talk about like goals and how to kind of create a plan of action. Yep. and yeah, just yeah.
That's great. I mean, so you've created processes and strategies of how to really make it to the pro level,
exactly.
What it takes, how to be mindful of everything. And
exactly.
That's good.
Yep.
I mean, that's so good. I think it definitely needs that. I think salsa and dance is lacking a little bit of that digital platform, and it's lacking in some just I think in some of that like you guys are doing now, this kind of digital training as well, and showing people how to really make it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's really, really great.
yeah.
And although you guys are, you're internationally recognized and a very credible salsa duo, what inspired you to also become entrepreneurs? How did that come about?
Well, one of the things that we've been really diving into is acting. And so we wanted to still, dance, but we also wanted to be able to figure out new ways where we can, help dancers without having to, travel so much if we wanted to kind of stay at home and pursue some of our other projects, and goals that we have. So for us, it was like, okay, how can we help people around the world do, like when we travel and when we talk to different dancers, when we actually travel to these events and we talk to competitors and stuff, we're kind of giving them that guide of what they need to do to become salsa, artists in this world. So for us, it was really finding a way where we can still reach those people, and develop, like you said, these strategies, plans of action, tactics they could use where we don't have to travel so much, so we can still impact and help in a positive way, and also do our other projects that we're focused on as well. So
good.
Yeah.
And is it all your is it My Dance Mentor?
Yes.
Yeah, My Dance Mentor.
My Dance Mentor.
not all through, is it like through a digital platform, or how is it being portrayed? How do people view it and go through it? Or is it just kind of documents, or is it all videos, or is it?
Yeah, so it's a digital platform. So it's online. So basically, they'll have a bunch of different courses, video courses, that will take them step by step. So like we give you an example right now. We have our power spins library, which takes 7 of our power spins that we have used to travel all over the world, from our tornado switches to our knee spins to just 7 of our power spins that we've been able to accomplish our goals. So we're like, okay, let's put that in a program. Let's break down the fundamentals and how do we get these dancers to be able to do these power spins. So we literally have this power spins library where you have an account, you sign up, and you can see 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can log on anytime, and you have these series of step-by-step videos that will take you through the entire library. From fundamentals to warm-ups to secret ways to spin faster, stronger. Like just these different training methods that we don't even teach when we go to these different events. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just putting together a program where we can literally take somebody that doesn't know about how to power spin and then take them to teaching them some of our most powerful power spins that we have used throughout the world.
I love it. Oh yeah, it's so cool. So cool to hear that stuff, man.
Cool, man.
Let me jump a little bit here. I want to talk a little bit about AGT. So how did you guys get on America's Got Talent? Obviously, we know you're amazing, you're talented, but I know it's probably so difficult. It's not easy to get on it. So how did you get on America's Got Talent, and what were essentially the most special moments you guys had there?
Oh, wow. Okay, so America's Got Talent. That was an incredible experience for us. So basically, just really quickly, we had auditioned for the show back in 2008.
Yep.
And we basically, we were kids. We didn't know what we were doing. We were still very... we hadn't discovered like the electro salsa style yet. And so we basically auditioned for the show. We made it to the second round, and then we got cut. And then every year after that, AGT had basically, the producers had contacted us to come back to the show, And we were like, no, right now, that's just like, not something that we're really inspired to do. And then last year, they basically had reached out, and they were super persistent about taking on a meeting. And we were like, you know what? All right, let's have this meeting. Let's figure it out. We figured out that the dates had cleared, all that stuff. And we went back on the show, and we auditioned. And, we were just super thankful for the opportunity. We made it to the second round. And then from there, we made it to the quarterfinals. And it was just like a super, like...
It was very unexpected. It was for when... so when we went to that first audition, we were like, okay, we'll just go in, we'll just do our thing. And just how we were received was just, that was one of our most incredible moments on the show, the way we were received. And it was like, wow, okay, we made it to the next round. Okay, so now it's time to get to work. It was just so unexpected. Like, it's almost like when we started dancing, it was like very unexpected. We just did what we did, and then all of a sudden, we ended up winning a competition. We're like, oh wow, we won a competition. Okay, maybe let's train for the next one. Oh wow, we won another one. Okay, oh, we're starting. So it was like the same kind of thing that happened with America's Got Talent. And honestly, the producers, the judge, everybody on that show was so phenomenal, so great with us. And so we're just super thankful, grateful, and blessed that they gave us the opportunity.
Exactly. An opportunity to really share what we've worked in our entire life for, and share it on a wider, share it to the masses, and also not only the dancing side of it, but to be able to share literally our story.
Exactly.
And the messages that we have received from people just like thanking us for how it's impacted their lives. Honestly, like, it's such a beautiful blessing, I feel like. And there comes a point in life where you're like, why am I going through this? Like, you like, why you start questioning. And I know that in the beginning of our career, it was such a struggle. And at the time you're like, man, why is this so hard? Like, why are we going through this? And then it's like fast forward to 2017 where we're on the show and we're actually able to talk about our journey and share that with people and in return impact other people's lives. It's a beautiful full circle.
And we honestly, we did not know. I mean, you talk about your story, and and it's like you have no idea how many people around the world are going through the same thing.
Yeah, or something
It's like
similar.
something similar, and you're like, wow, like we just had no idea. And honestly, America's Got Talent, it's almost like it opened, it added to our purpose, right? And now it's not even just about us wanting to impact the dance world with our dance, but it's now we want to bring in our story, and how can we share our story with other people that are going through the same thing, and maybe it can help impact them in that way. So for us now in our projects, we're developing projects where now it's not just the dance, but how can we bring in our story to be able to empower and impact the dance community or the world in a positive way, so yeah, America's Got Talent was a blessing. We're so thankful.
100%.
So cool. I couldn't believe when I was seeing you guys on TV. I was like, wow, this is insane. It's still really cool. Like just thinking about it, I'm like, I told all my employees here, I'm like, I'm interviewing this couple here. They're like, yeah, I remember them. I saw them.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, bro. You're awesome, man.
And these guys are like tech guys, man. They don't even know they barely know what salsa is, but they're like, yeah, I remember that like electron. They were like doing salsa to like electronic. That's why they're different.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know, that is awesome, man.
So cool, man. And Junior, where you were saying, just about your story. I mean, we all go through really tough challenges and struggles, and we talked about this earlier in regards to just life is not easy, and there's a lot of just crazy things, crazy times in our lives. But what were some of your guys' toughest struggles during this journey, and how did you essentially overcome them?
Journey of like our dance career journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So like in the beginning, we were talking about earlier, how we were these kids on the street, especially me. I was always on the street. I was involved in the wrong crowd. So when salsa came into my life, or our life, it was definitely a light for both of us, and it definitely, for me, it just opened up this whole new world. So when we started to work together, there was still this pull back and forth where I would still be on the street, but then I would still have to go to rehearsals, and it was just like this pull back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
He like wouldn't show up to rehearsals sometimes, or he showed up with like a broken wrist, or like it really had affected of the dance world.
The dance world. And so, it wasn't until I got arrested, and I mean, I'm sitting in the jail cell. I don't even know if we told this story on America's Got Talent, but basically, I got arrested, and it was one of our first international trips, actually, which was crazy. We're like, man, we worked our butts off. It was one of our first international trips, and I got locked up. And so I just remember me being in the jail cell, and my family, my sister and my dad, really not knowing what to do because I had to travel the next day. So I remember being in the jail cell, and I remember them basically they had my luggage ready at the jail, at the jail parking lot in the jail, waiting for me to be released. So I got bailed out, and I was barely released, and able to make my international flight. But when I was sitting in that jail cell, I just had this. It's like, Junior, what are you doing? Like, look, you finally are able to do what you worked so hard for. So don't screw it up. Like, what are you doing? I had to make this decision where it's like, so am I going to keep doing this? And like, look where you're at. Look where you're at. I mean, just look at where you're at. Is this what you want to do with your life? And so I had to make that decision there, and be like, no, I'm not going to do this. And from there, things started to go up because I made that choice of no, this is not what I want for my life. And if I don't change, if I can't change a little bit, I got to make the choice and commit to it or not, or not commit to it. I can't be tiptoeing anymore because it's not working. So I made that decision, and then from there, we started to, just everything started to go up. I mean, after I made that choice, and we started to grow together in a positive way. And from there, our career just skyrocketed, where I was all the way full in. Both of us were all the way full in. There was no more worry. There was no more, is Junior going to make it? No, it was just like all in. This is what we need to do. I'm all in. Let's do this. And we did it, so. But it was not an easy road, and even when I did make that choice, it was still not an easy road, right? You still have those thoughts. You still, it's just not easy. It's not like, it's basically staying true to that choice and really finding, again, what do you want to do with your life? You only live one life, so what do you really want to do with your life? And here I have this incredible opportunity, this incredible light right here in front of my face, so just go for it. Go for it. There, like, you have nothing to lose. And thank God I had the support of my wonderful sister and family that was like, they forgave me, and it was like all up from there, so I'm just super thankful.
Isn't it crazy that a lot of our destiny or where we're headed in life is based on a lot of our decisions?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy if you really think about it? Because we always want things to come to us, right? Sometimes we get lazy. I mean, I do it too. Sometimes I feel you wake up in the morning, right? You're like, all right, how am I gonna work today?
Yeah.
Because we all
Yep.
have
Yep.
personal, we all have things going on in our lives, right? And sometimes it's hard to separate personal from business and from work, right? So you're like, how am I gonna get up right now and do this and go to work, and you have those tough days, but then you think, you know what, I need to make the decision to, thank God I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have this opportunity, I need to be grateful,
Yep.
for what I
Yep.
have,
That's
and
right.
I need to go out and do it. And just making that little decision could change your
It
life.
Yeah.
literally can. One
One.
choice,
Yep.
one decision.
Oh
That's
man,
so
it's just
important.
I know it's very cliche, but it's so
It
true,
is.
man. I mean, it really is. But no, guys, I really appreciate it. Everything you said has been so inspiring. And so, kind of to close things out, I always ask every interviewee they're called the three hows. So, how do you guys define failure? How do you define entrepreneurship? And how do you define success?
Okay.
You want to go first?
So I don't believe in failure. I believe that all that's happening is we discover ways in which something doesn't work. And so we got to stay consistent so that way we can discover new ways of something coming into fruition. So that's my take on failure.
So yeah, I say
What do you
same
want to say
thing for
about
us.
success?
Oh, success for us.
And entrepreneurship.
So for us, success is really going totally into what we want to go for, and just being fearless about it. Like for us, success is not just doing something and be successful at doing something. Success is for us to try to do what we want to do and accomplish. And like my sister said, in terms of failing, for us, we don't see it like that. It's like, okay, this didn't work. Okay, so let's try it a little differently. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try it a different way, differently, until we have that success. But for us, success is really going for what we love, what our passion, what we want to go for, the projects we're really inspired to go for.
Courageously, and
Courageously,
fearlessly.
fearless. Yep.
Because it's always going to be there, right? That fear, that doubt. But to push through those moments and to really and to always be in the state of like just always how to explain, like, success is not
Yeah.
final.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly finding new ways, discovering new ways to grow, to become better,
Yeah.
to do better. And I think that living like that.
And for us, we understand that we only live one life. Like, we only live one life. So for us, we really are committed to like being totally used up. So whatever we feel like we want to accomplish in this lifetime, that we're going for it. We're going for it, and that's it. You know,
and I think that falls into the entrepreneurship as well. The question. And then the most important thing for me or for us, I think that is really to just be good human beings. Like it doesn't matter, traveling all over the world or being on TV or having a house and car or not whatever materialistic thing or having all this money in the bank. It doesn't matter. Like for us, it's about really just being a good human being and sharing our love with other people and, just sharing our joy and hopefully, putting a smile on somebody's face and just sharing that, because I think at the end of the day, humanity is all about love and joy and just being connected. And if we can all just be good human beings, then this world will just be an incredible place and full of love. And I think that's ultimately what we're all seeking for.
Yeah, I think that was great. Yeah.
Amen to that, guys. And how did you want to talk about entrepreneurship? What are your thoughts on entrepreneurship?
Our thoughts on entrepreneurship. I don't know. we are all we want to do is create and develop things that are going to impact the dance community in a positive way, or the entire world in a positive way. So for us, it's not us seeing ourselves as entrepreneurs, but just being involved in projects that really inspire and empower us, and so we can do the same for other people. And that's basically
exactly. And it's not going to be easy. Like, it's a lot of struggle that goes along with it. But I think just staying consistent and remembering, your why and your purpose along that journey. And I think that is necessary to keep going. And like Junior said, not necessarily to say I'm an entrepreneur, but to just do it for the pure love of it, the pure passion of it, and to just give back and ultimately just share with the world.
Beautifully said, guys. Perfect. That was beautiful. So where can everyone find you guys? Your social media, website?
Yeah, so we are, you can find us on our website, juniorangemily.com. That's all spelled out. We are on Instagram, Junior and Emily. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Junior and Emily. So you can access us, if anybody has any questions about anything, if they just want to say hi. But and then we also, if you're interested in any of our programs, mydancementor.com.
Yep.
Perfect. Cool. Guys, I can't, say it enough. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and sharing your story. I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you
it's been an
so
honor.
much. It's been an absolute honor for us. And we think, what you're doing is absolutely inspiring. So thank you again.
Thank you.
It's
and
been
keep
an honor.
going, man.
Yes.
Keep going. What you're doing is really a light and is really impacting the world in a positive way. So keep going, man.
Yes. And we hope to see you next year in North Carolina.
We will see you next year.
I need to dance with Emily. I was gonna dance, but you disappeared.
Oh, you didn't get a dance.
I owe you 5 next year.
The cool guy, Michael. Oh man.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks again, and thanks again everyone for listening. And this is your host, Michael Giorgio on Tales from the Pros. And until next time.
Please subscribe to our YouTube page and also follow our social media. There are links somewhere around here. But we really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for all the support. And I'm going to be giving you awesome content continuously. And we look forward to seeing you soon.